Hi there, my name is Sally TM. The TM stands for Teach Me, bitch! And welcome to your lesson, homework, and assignments for this week in Charm School. I have partnered up again with the legend icon star Miss Tony A. Ward, Cycle 7 and All Stars 2 alumni. She is so smart with her construction and stuff like that, so I'm glad to be working with her again, and you know, it feels right. For this video I've done 3 concepts: a make concept, a thrifted concept, and a bought concept, all of which I have handsomely DIY'd with the intention of selling a concept. And for each one I'm going to detail how much I paid, if I did pay for things, what I used to make it different from everything else, and the styling of it. My lessons will also be tied in with Tony's lessons, in which I will be telling you how to thrift for things, how to runway walk, what is the best materials, and the process for my concepts.
Hi everyone, it's me, Tony A. Ward, your costuming dean. I'm about to show you how to turn all these household objects and use them to make a beautiful costume. Beautiful costume. This is Tony A. Ward's something something tacky tutorial. We'll add a really cute little jingle and like a little picture. It'll be super cute. Use a really pretty picture of me and Dad. Thanks.
This look is made from head to toe. I made everything that you see here, apart from the nails. I bought the earrings, but I made them too. This is the drawn image I made of the concept, and I wanted to, you know, experiment with doing a tutorial. So I used this tutorial by this lovely woman. It is a DIY trash bag dress using acrylic paints. As well as this, we have a DIY playlist that we both collected together on how to create things if you want to, and basically just go through and have a look, because you might find something that you might want to make. So what I did with the dress is, instead of doing the papaya, I painted myself on it, and the head wrap as well. The head wrap is made out of just folding a square piece of fabric and sewing through. Every sewing kind of tutorial will say, if you don't have a serger is something that serges the fabric, makes it look professionally seamed. If you don't have a serger or a sewing machine, hand stitch it. And hand stitching is literally, it's quite difficult at first, but like, as soon as you get the motions, and it's kind of like riding a bike. You can ride a bike, you can sew. The angle you might not, but like there's still pencil lines on it where I sketched out the design. There's a few kind of like things that are wrong with it. The creasing, make sure you iron your fabric before you start sewing it. Preferably as well if you're just going to paint on it like I did. And also, I don't have many accessories on, I've only got nails and earrings on. How I made the earrings, I just got a pair of golden hoops. The golden hoops had this kind of like, this one straight thing on it. And I was like, do you know what would go great there? A Bratz doll shoe. I made this last year for a butt patch dress that I was gonna go see Trixie Mattel in, but I didn't. It goes well with the colour story, which brings me on to colour story. The entire ensemble today is in orange and white. Probably see me on the beach with a book being like, I'm fucking like the beach, it swims, ugh, kids. We don't expect you to make gowns in Charm School. We don't expect you to, you know, just turn around and be like, boom, I'm done, look at me, I made a gown. And it's like, okay, but like, yeah, like, no. Right, so thrifting. Thrifting is a huge part of your journey. If you're not confident enough to go into women's sizes, like, to start sifting, just sift, like, literally, who gives a shit? Just turn around to them and be like, I'm a fashion designer. Works every time. So the premise of thrifting, I've also linked a video on a guide to thrifting by the one and only Annika Victoria, who is amazing, by the way. So Annika has a 15 tips and tricks to thrifting, and I'm going to add on to that. Number 1, make sure that you check what you want. You draw down what you want, you get what you want. It was week 4 of TDR where I was like, I hate myself because the Hello Kitty Sanrio Couture challenge, I couldn't find anything green for the life of me. Like, I've had this conversation with Marcella Fox as well, like, there's no green in the UK. You just gotta suffer for like lime green or like a close to yellow or blue green. Thrifting is ideal for everything. You might have heard that Layla McQueen actually buys baby heads and spray paints them for her bodysuit things, the bras that she makes. Do that! Like, Alexander McQueen had an entire fashion line with hats made out of lampshade. I'm making a hat from a plant pot as we speak as well. Like, the creative ingenuity that you have, like, if you want to make it, like, spray paint a lampshade black and wear it as a hat, done deal. Be like, hey, I'm fashion forward. So, runways. Here's an example of not how to do your runways. As you can see, the camera is fitted to a landscape. Correct. The person who's walking is stiff. No. You need to be elegant. You can't just be like, you can't just robot your way to the front, stop for a second, then walk back. Like, that's not good. Sell the outfit. Don't give a shit what, like, bobby pins you've got in the back of your head. At the end of the day, when you turn around and people look at you, they're not looking at the back of your head, they're looking at the front. Because, you know, you've got a face here. With runways as well, if you're like me and don't have a nice space, like a hallway, use your stairs, but also you've got to check your camera angles, because if I walk and then like I stop, can't see the top half of my body, so I've got to position myself like, oh my god, look at me, I'm stuck on the balcony, Romeo please help me, like. And finally, this is the third concept. This is the bi concept, if you can see. I can try and like... Hi! So for the bi concept, I actually went out to Primark. It's basically like the pound shop for clothes. So I went out, I bought a set of panties and a bra. Bra came in a 2-pack with a white one. And the idea with this one is that I'm currently participating in Miss Paint's art race at the time of filming. I could be eliminated by the time this goes up. One of the looks for Miss Paint art race was a sea slug inspired look, and I gave my character Sulphur a nice little 90s twist. Yeah, so things that I bought previously were the suspenders. I don't know how they work, so because this one's more meticulous and buying stuff versus, you know, thrifting and, you know, sewing it yourself, it's not one of a kind. I'm going to show you how I made this one of a kind of like thing. And all I needed was some acrylic paints, and here you go. Now for the first part of this, I'm going to be painting the bra with acrylic paints. I'm trying to stick to the colour scheme, and a great thing is, if you want to go and find your own patterns, the best thing to do is either use Microsoft Paint or find patterns online. Try not to use the first or second row of the images, primarily because like obviously if you go on Google, everyone's going to go for the first or second thing. It's not going to make you look unique. The next thing is I go over the paint twice, 2 layers of acrylic so that it stands out. The problem with fabric is, the stretch fabric that is used for bras and panties is that it absorbs quite a lot of water. It's designed for kind of like, you know, absorption in case bad things happen, you know what I mean. So with that in mind, I had to go over it twice. I also mixed the green a little bit lighter so that the green actually stands out. The green acrylic that I have is so watery for some reason, so I had to go in with the yellow instead and just, you know, go over it. The design effect kind of works. Also, I've totally neglected to mention this, my SMH little necklace here is just pillar beads. You know, the ones that you iron. When you were a child, you used to get these beads that you could iron together. Get some pillar beads and make like a little necklace. All you need is a little bit of basic, you know, wires, and like necklaces that you don't own and really care about even. My last tip is don't be too hard on yourself as well. If you can't be like, hey, let's just buy a gown and call it a day. Don't do that. Try your best to go out and find things that you enjoy and you want to wear as your character. Sally is, you know, she's loud, she's crazy, she enjoys the party, she loves vintage stuff, she loves retro stuff, she loves new stuff, she wants to be, you know, an astronaut. Like, you are the Barbie and you get to choose what her job is.
Welcome back from that quick commercial break. I'm going to show you a couple different techniques that I personally use to really bring a costume to life. This is going to be a no-sew tutorial because I think me sitting here and show you how to like thread a bobbin and how to use different stitches, I think is very mundane, and you can find stuff easier and better explained on YouTube. I'm going to show you what I've personally found works best for TDR and drag in general. I'm going to show you things, rhinestoning, how to do appliques, how to bring together stories and really work on a concept, develop it in full, and I'm going to show you what I get. What I'm about to make is going to be super fucking ugly and tacky, and I'm super excited for it. So this came to me, I saw Thor through someone's Snap story wearing a cute little kind of t-shirt dress, and I was like, that'd be really cute if it was a fucking moo-moo. I wanted to like make it funky because I just don't want to wear a fucking moo-moo around. And so one of my favorite dresses I have is, it was from TDR All-Stars 2. I made a Bacala SpongeBob inspired outfit. So I'm going to do a mixture of that. So it's bright colors, textures, clashing, it's chaos, it's tacky, and I love it so much. So I pulled from 34 Bacala just to make it my own kind of thing. What I normally do is I'll draw a sketch. Liz probably already showed you how to do sketches, and if not, it is back on Charm School Cycle 3. And mood boarding is also there, which I personally do for a lot of my outfits, where I take different reference pictures of hair, shoes, accessories, colors, textures that I really like, and put them all together and kind of put them together as a piece and picture them together. So what I've done here is I've taken fabric I've had laying around, and I just kind of, you know, it's really technical stuff. I put the fabric over my head, found the length I wanted it, and then cut a hole where my head was. And then here we are. And then what I did was I took this to my sewing machine and just sewed down the side some, so it made little armholes, and here we are, little ugly kimono. Now you're probably thinking, because it's a piece of fucking fabric you put on. Exactly, that's what all clothing. Just because I said this was a no-sew tutorial, I will be sewing things. But you could have also done this with Hot Glue. Works just the same. It's the same in pictures. Don't sweat it. Next step. Okay, so moving on to appliques, which I use so much because you can take a plain piece of fabric, a plain dress, and just do appliques on it and sew them on or hot glue them on, and it makes the dress look so much more exciting. My Bacala dress and my butterfly dress are heavily applique. So what I do to make my appliques is first I get a piece of construction paper. You can also use wax paper, or you can use pattern paper. Lil uses wrapping paper, you know, just any form of paper you can draw on to make your shape. Then what I do is I go in with a pencil and I'll sketch out the size I want. So this is going to be the pupil on the inside of the eye I'm putting on my chest. And so once you have this, please reuse your scrap papers. Like, save your scrap fabric, save your scraps, because you can reuse it at a later point. What I do is just draw it on, go in, cut it out really quickly, and there you go. There is a pupil applique pattern. After you've made all your appliques that you need, what you want to do is you want to find a pencil, or depending on what fabric you're using, you can use crayon, chalk, anything that'll make a mark that won't be too noticeable if you show it. You can always wipe it off later, use the backside, whatever. So what I did was I just traced the shape. I don't know if you all can even see this. The little lines onto here, and then I'm gonna cut it out. I've already cut out a piece so I can show you the transformation. This is the iris, like this iris pattern. It's not the exact same shape because I altered it to like fit how I want, but iris pattern, iris beads. So just do that for all the appliques you cut out. Good job. Okay, so now that you've gone through, traced all your pieces, cut them all out, what you want to do is make sure you have it how you look. So here I have the base black piece that I'm going to be building it on. I do suggest this if you're doing larger pieces, build them first and then transfer them to the dress. So I have the base piece, I have the iris cut out. Fair warning with working with satin, it does fray a lot. What I like to do is get a match or lighter and just slightly like hold it a couple inches away and it will curl up and kind of melt a little. It's really, it keeps it from fraying. And so now I have all these pieces together, and you're going to want to either sew these together or hot glue them together. Both work just as fine. Yeah, next step. Hi, and welcome back to my sewing tutorial. I'm wearing a different outfit because this is filmed on different days because time doesn't exist, so it doesn't matter. Last time we were putting our appliques together to make one large applique. Now you can either hot glue this together, E6000 it, sew it, whatever's easiest for you. Now I'm going to show you one of my favorite techniques in try sewing. As you can see, I've already done part of the tooth on the mouth applique. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start rhinestoning with E6000. Now these are cheaper rhinestones, so the E6000 will eat away at the backing, causing it to have a cracked look, which I'm into for this look. So what I do is I take a skewer stick and just get a little bit of the glue right there on the tip, put it on the back of my rhinestone, and put my rhinestone down. And this takes 24 hours to dry. It normally takes less than that, but it says 24 hours, so I really don't like do it like right before I'm about to put it on, you know? And this is how you rhinestone. There are a whole bunch of different sizes and different stones meant for different things. There are different methods and different ways to glue down stuff. So with cheaper stones like these, stuff that you get at Michael's, Joann's, you can use hot glue, but it may pull the film off the back and fall off. You can use E6000, but like I mentioned before, it erodes away at the stones and gives it a crack look. You can also use Gem Tack, which I know is very popular as well with the cheaper stones. With stuff like googly eyes, fake pearls, seashells, you want to go ahead and use hot glue or E6000, both will work. Then there are smaller stones like these, which are jelly stones. These are 5mm jelly stones, which are my personal favorite size and type, because it works with the E6000 and doesn't eat away at it, or you can't tell because it's a full plastic. And I prefer this size because it's large enough to like make an impact and not too small where you're spending too much. And this is the final look. I went ahead and put our appliques we did on. Did a little extra. I did a little of the arm work with the feathers. That's simple enough to do with a light stitch or some hot glue, and then I added a little bit to clear up this hem because it was looking a bit rough, and again a light stitch or hot glue. I added some fun hair, a little headband, and some accessories to totally complete the look. Now, you've learned the tips I've taught you. It's time for you to use them. For your homework, we want you to create an unconventional accessory. Now this could be anything from a purse to a jewelry set to a headpiece. Throwback to the headpiece I made on Cycle 7, the very first mini challenge was an unconventional accessory challenge, and I won the mini. So go ahead and make an unconventional accessory. Use anything you want. It just has to be made entirely out of unconventional materials.
Myself and Tony are both on Facebook, Discord and Tumblr if you have any questions. And don't be afraid to ask, like literally, I am not scary. I cry every day. Like, I'm not kidding. I cry every day. And I won this competition, I got second in charm school, and I cry every day. Because I'm still not good enough. Good luck girls, and don't fuck it up.